Okay, here we go, part 8. As you can see, I have my door in. It's a solid wood door. And let me get down here. Made the jamb. It all closes nicely. No gaps. I'm going to Dutch the door. For you guys that don't know what that is, that means to split it like 2/3 the bottom, and you can open the half and keep the bottom closed, and that'll provide ample ventilation, another place to look out. It just fits with the whole Adirondack theme of this tiny cabin, tiny house. I've had several questions, emails, texts about why I'm doing this and what am I going to do with it and whatnot. And I will make a video later to explain all that. And basically it just started out with a really cool truck. 62 Chevy C40, really rare truck. The bed was replaced. It was a solid foundation. I rebuilt the truck, as you can see in my other videos, and I want this to be really nice and not some piece of crap sitting on the back of a thing. The main thing I can give you is keep it tight, keep it low. So the truck is jacked up quite a bit now, and this will be quite a bit lower when it gets back on the ground. But it's got to be able to fit under bridges, and it also don't want to get stopped by DOT or any highway patrol because of the size of it. I kept it within the confines of the bed, and it's not hanging out anywhere, and it's coming out quite nice. I'm going to give it a day or two for the cedar or the pine molding to air out. It was green when I bought it. It was a little wet, so I wanted to dry out a little bit more before I put the cedar shingles on it, because it will shrink. Not so much the pieces that were nailed in, but it is pine and it will shrink. And so I don't want to rush putting the cedar shingles on it until I got some of the moisture out of the boards. It's the same with sealing them. I'm not going to seal it for a while until I know it's good and dry. I don't want to seal in moisture. But I'll give you another picture. This is a little hill I'm on, as you can see, so it's kind of tough sledding. Okay, I didn't put that. I got to move the handle. And there's the door jamb. Quite nice. This is a... Well, let me get the ladder here. I haven't made the stairs for it yet. But this is a nice end stand that I found. It's an old whiskey barrel. And it had some... It was actually made into like a stand. And this was the top board. So I took it apart. I got it for $10 on the side of the road. Have a nice barrel that I'm going to make into a stand or do something with, or just for decorative things. And the tabletop will be for my laptop or work area or eating area or whatever not. So you got to be creative. And for $10 I got 2 pieces out of this. So it's a steal. You have to... I love to repurpose stuff. And I love to take things that other people are throwing out or discarding and make them into something. Then they come back and say, wow, where'd you get that? And I said, that's what I bought off you. So, another question I got about tiny homes and cabins is, the space and whatnot. Yeah, you have to utilize your space really well. Now, I'm only 5'6", so at each end of the building, I can walk to each end of the roof without hitting the ceiling. Now, if you're 6'4", this might not work. You might need a bigger roof system. But for me, it works fine. Same with the doorway. There it is. It's just high enough for me to walk out. I don't need a gigantic door. I bought a solid wood door for $20 out of a 100-year-old house. Put some new hinges on it. I'll refinish it. It really doesn't even need to be refinished. Just a little scratched up, or just a little dirt marks from installing it and working with it. But it's a very heavy-duty door, and like I said, I'm going to Dutch it so it swings open top and bottom. Plenty of light and windows. That's the only thing that I can tell you is a must for a tiny home or cabin. You need to have ample light and windows, and the more the better, because it doesn't give you the feeling of sitting in a storage container or a cell or basement or anything. You have plenty of light and gives you just look out. I'll sit here in this little stool and look out, and you see how far away it gives you. The distance perception becomes more than what it really is, because you can see further out past the thing. So I love to read, and I love natural light. I was going to do a skylight, but I'm going to do a little wood stove over here. I'm building a hearth, and I'm going to do a tiny wood stove here for heat, and put it right through the pipe, straight up through the ceiling. My bed will be over there. I'll have a storage cabinet and something above that. I will have my flat screen TV right up there. There'll be another storage and counters there. There'll be built-in bookcase and storage in that corner. And over here there will be some more cabinetry. There'll be a propane stove, cook stove, refrigerator between them, and then a sink, so I can clean up and do my dishes and everything, and personal hygiene, wash, brush my teeth, whatnot. As far as someone asks, what am I going to do to shower? Well, I belong to the Y and I work out, so I'm going to go, when I go and work out, I'll take a shower every other day at the Y. And I'll take care of that. And the days I need to clean up and whatnot, I will just take a marine bath. And for you to know what that is, let's just fill up the sink, get a sponge and some soap, and they've been doing that for eons. Okay. There's only one window on this side, and I kept it that way so I could use this whole wall for counters and cabinets and whatnot. It would look better if I put a window, but this is not so much about appearance as it is functionality. I mean, I like it to look good and everything, but if I put a window there, the wood stove is going to be right there, the cabinetry, it's not going to work. So that wall will be not as good looking as this wall, but it's not about all that. Other than that, this one piece of trim needs a little sanding. I'll get after that with the belt sander. I'll sand that down a little bit. That's the one I bought all the molding from all the wood from a local sawmill. It was rough cut, and I run it through the planer myself. So, and I'll finish it with some, as you can see, I'll finish it with some 220, sand it all down nicely now it's on here, and but also I wanted that rough cut look, because the cedar is rough cut. The cedar's isn't exactly, it's got some rough finish to it, and I live in the Adirondacks at the foothills, so that's what I wanted to do with that. I wanted to keep that Adirondack look. Something that I grew up with as a kid and loved that sort of. Yeah, it really is nice. And if you have any questions, give me a shout. This could be done. This could be taken right off the back and put on a foundation on a piece of property, and it'll come right off, and you can put it on the foundation and go from there. You could drive to places that you can't afford to live, park, and stay there for however long you want, and actually live in that area without having to pay the rent, the taxes, and the $400,000 to live in. I live outside Saratoga Springs, which is a very expensive area. Lake George, all that region, property is expensive. So if you can look for a piece of property, a piece of land that doesn't have a structure, you're going to get it a hell of a lot cheaper than if there's a house on it. So I could drive this up and take this off and put it on it, or live in it while I build another cabin. Who knows? It's got a tow hitch on it, so I can hook all my toys up to it, take it to wherever I want. Endless possibilities. Okay? Until then, later.